Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the often confusing world of corporate filings. Today we're diving into a filing from Zapata Computing. Prepare for a bit of a roller coaster because this report involves debt, stock sales, and a whole lot of restructuring. But before we jump in, if you appreciate us taking the mystery out of corporate documents, subscribe. We also have a Discord community where you can chat with other investors. The link is in the description. Zapata Computing, a company that's working on quantum computing solutions, has just filed a report that details some major financial moves they've made in recent months. In short, they've raised money by selling notes and warrants, which are basically promises to pay back money and options to buy stock, restructured some debt converting it into stock, and made deals with existing lenders. Let's break down what all of this means, focusing on what it could mean for the company's future. The first thing that jumps out is that Zapata Computing has entered into an agreement to sell secured convertible promissory notes. Think of these notes as loans that can be converted into company stock and warrants to buy even more stock. They are hoping to get a total of up to $3 million from this deal. They already got $2.5 million in total gross proceeds. They say part of that money went to paying off an old lender. The rest is planned for paying down other debts and for day-to-day expenses. These notes or loans mature in about a year and have an interest rate of 10% per year. The notes can be converted into a little over 66 million shares of Zapata's common stock. The conversion price is $0.04 per share. There's also a condition where if Zapata completes another offering that brings in at least $5 million, Zapata completes another offering that brings in at least $5 million. These notes will automatically turn into stock. Along with these notes, Zapata is also issuing warrants. The warrants give the holders the right to purchase a little over 33 million shares of common stock at $0, 0 C in statement. In effect, allowing the resale of these shares, the holders can exercise these warrants cashlessly. This means they don't actually have to put up the $0.04 share, but instead get shares based on some calculations. Next up, Zapata had to get permission from one of its existing lenders before issuing these new notes. This permission is called a consent. To get this consent, Zapata gave the existing lender 34 million shares of common stock. With that, the lender agreed to waive certain rights under its outstanding senior secured promissory note in the original principal amount of $1,000. So the existing lender basically agreed to take a backseat with their debt, so the company could get new financing. This deal also includes a security agreement, which means the new notes are backed by the company's assets. An intercreditor agreement was also made stating the relative rights and obligations in favor of the secured lenders in respect to the new notes, as well as the existing notes. All this legal wording basically means that if Zapata can't pay its debts, there is an agreement for who gets paid back first. Now let's talk about more debt restructuring. Zapata is exchanging some of its outstanding debts, in this case $10 standard dollars of around $17 million total in other liabilities for shares of stock. In this case, they gave out roughly 27 million shares of common stock to creditors. It sounds like they are even considering preferred stock for some of the creditors. It sounds like they are even considering preferred stock for some of the creditors. To make sure that all of these new shares don't flood the market all at once, Zapata is using what they call universal resale and registration provisions. This basically put in some time periods where people can't dump their shares and make sure people don't all of a sudden sell all their shares to make the agreement gets to put them on that offering, which means more people can buy those shares and make sure people don't all of a sudden sell all their shares to make the company valuation tank. This clause prevents the recipients of these securities from immediately selling them. There is a lockup period where the sale is restricted. After that lockup period, it is carefully scaled using percentage limitations within specific dates. They also agreed to give those who received shares registration rights, which means if a $5 million securities offering is successfully completed in the future, everyone who receives shares in this agreement gets to put them on that offering, which means more people can buy those shares. And Zapata also agrees to file a registration statement within 80 days to allow investors to sell their shares and get it approved by the SEC within. Then there's the matter of the old debt. The company used $1.33 million of the new funds to pay off an other lender's note. This old loan, dating back to February of last year, had an interest rate of 15% per year, so it was more expensive than the new one. All these stocks and derivatives were done due to exceptions in security registration required by law. It is worth noting that the actual documents are accessible by clicking the links here. That will bring you to the actual security purchase agreements, convertible promissory note forms, warrants, etc. Now let's put this all together. Zapata Computing is clearly in a situation where it needs cash. It is doing this by taking out new loans, restructuring old debt, and issuing a lot of new stock. On the one hand, the company is getting the cash it needs to operate and pay off older, more expensive debt. On the other hand, all this stock being issued dilutes the value of existing shareholders and the debt still needs to be repaid. The company is trying to alleviate some of this with universal resale, which prevent investors from immediately dumping a large amount of stock, ensuring a steadier valuation for the company. These actions are often taken by companies that believe these actions will facilitate growth in the long run. The actions in themselves can appear good or bad, but it all depends on if the company can successfully use it as fuel to grow and provide value for their shareholders. Quantum computing is a very high risk, very high reward play. It is not a certainty that quantum computing will be successful, and even if it is not a certainty that Zapata will make profit out of it. Alright, that's our breakdown of Zapata's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they might mean for its future with quantum computing? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time.